Hello folks, this is Abhinav Gupta from Edipedia World, welcoming you to today's topic of accounts of companies. So, the previous lecture we were continuing with the CSR policies, the corporate social responsibility. We have seen the criteria that needs to be fulfilled in order to be eligible to undertake the CSR activity, the amount of investment they have to make, the committees they form, the policies they form, and how they go about, and the responsibility of the committee, responsibility of the board. These things were seen in the previous lecture. So now moving ahead, in today's lecture we'll try to continue and complete the remaining part of the section. So to start with, we'll continue with the activities that do not amount to CSR. In the previous class we have seen what are the activities that will be forming a part of CSR, the Schedule 7 activities and the other including activities. But now we'll see what the Act has to say as to the non-applicability. Like what are the activities that even if you undertake whatever amount you spend, we will not consider it to be a part of CSR. Hence, we will not consider it to be the compliance of Section 135. Even if you take up the activities of Schedule 7, but if they fall under the following criterias, we will not consider you to be compliant with the given section. So let's see what those activities are. Firstly, the activities that are taken up outside the country will not be considered to be a CSR activity. Although you take up an activity from Schedule 7, may it be rural development, but that has been taken up in Nepal, so it will not be considered as CSR activity. In the recent November 2015 examination, you were asked this question. You were given a case study where after the Nepal earthquake, you have companies going up to Nepal and offering help over there. Right? Now, will that be a CSR activity? Otherwise, they fulfilled all the criteria of Schedule 7, audit committee, policy and everything. But the only point that the activity was taken up outside the country, it was taken up in Nepal rather than being in India. So the activity will not be considered as CSR activity. Along with it, the company that took the activity ahead was into pharmaceuticals or something, right? And what they provide over there is a help for the same thing. Now, since that is the regular business of the company, that will again not be considered as CSR activity. This will be the fourth point in the list. So the next thing is, any activity for the benefit of the employees of the company will not be considered as CSR activity. Now, if you want to get into CSR, you will have to serve the society. And specifically, you will have to start with local area. Because what you do for your employee is for the betterment of your company. That is not for the society. Your employee are the part of you. They are the part of your company. They are not the part of the society. Obviously, they are part of the society, but they are not different. Right? They are not someone else whom you are extending your help. Okay? The next point that excludes the CSR is the contribution to political party. No matter how much you contribute to political party, no matter what that political party does with that amount, maybe that they do all the good things, they do all the activities in Schedule 7, but since they are a political party, it has strictly been striked off. Right? As a part of CSR, you cannot contribute to a political party. Right? If you do that, you are still non-compliant for Section 135. And the final thing that we have already discussed is the activities of the normal course of business. So like if you're producing medicine and you're still giving out medicine to people, that is an activity in the normal course of business. Right? So that will not be considered as a CSR activity. You'll have to go ahead and do something else for the society. Right? Okay. So next what we have remaining in this section is the manner of implementing the CSR policy, the CSR reporting, the display of CSR policy on website, and the Schedule 7 activities. We'll look briefly into Schedule 7 and understand what are the kinds of activity that Schedule 7 talks about, so that you get an insight to the same. Right? So the next important topic is the manner of implementing CSR policy. So this is largely explained by Rule 4 of the company's Corporate Social Responsibility Policy Rules 2014. So Rule 4 lays down the following provisions with respect to the manner of implementing the CSR policy. So the first thing what Rule 4 says is that CSR activity should be undertaken as per the CSR policy. So if the policy has been drafted, it is for a purpose. So whatever activity you take, that has to be compliant with the policy that the committee has already performed, the committee that has already drafted, right? Now, how will they perform the CSR activity? For that, they can do so through any registered trust, through any registered society, or any other company that the company itself establishes. Like one company, I am the company and CSR is applicable on me. I will establish another company specifically for doing the CSR work for me, right? And that will be established under section 8 of the Act. So basically these are the three agents through which we undertake the CSR activities: the trust, the society, or any other company that we ourselves will establish. And the company that we establish need not be established by ourselves alone, right? That can be established by us, including our subsidiary, our associate companies, etc., or any other company and their subsidiaries and their associates too. So like it can be a cartel of few companies who come up and they make another company, they bring another company into existence, and that company's basic objective as per their article will also be the carrying out of the CSR activities. And if they want to take up a trust, society or company which they themselves do not establish, like in the previous point we have seen that they have to establish the trust, society or the company, but in case they take up some other trust, society or company that has not been established by themselves, then the Act says that if we are taking up a help from a third person, right, if it's a third company, then the minimum track record for that company performing CSR activity will have to be the 3 years. If there is any company existing in the market that has a 3 years track record of undertaking CSR activities, you may also get your activities done through that company. So in that case, you need not establish a trust, society or a company on your own. And even though it's CSR activity done through some other company, but they will have to specify the project or program that the other company needs to undertake. And there will be a continuous monitoring and reporting mechanism that will be established by this company to put a check on the other trust, society or company that undertakes the activity. Now, if the company wants to do something big, right, their 2% may be a very small amount for taking up any big work that they want to do, then what they can do is they can bring along some other companies to come up together and together perform something big, a bigger task. So even if a company does that, it is their responsibility to do it, to collaborate and do it in such a manner that each company is separately able to report on the activities that they have undertaken, or what is their part in the entire activity. That has to be reported separately for each company. Like, so if your 2% is rupees 2 crore and you say like, okay, I'll take up activity worth rupees 10 crore, and over there you have taken up or you have made a cartel of 5 companies, so you cannot report that you have undertaken an activity of 10 crores, right? So you were a part of that cartel, so your proportion may be 20%, so you come down to 2 crores again. So each company should be separately able to report as to what they have done in the entire activity, what is their role, what is their contribution. Now the company is allowed to build the CSR capacity of their own personnel, right, instead of the, as well as of those of the implementing agency, the trust, society or company. So they have the power to like build up a CSR capacity of their own personnel, but the limitation is, even if you want to build up that personnel capacity, you cannot make the expenditure beyond 5%. 5% of the total CSR expenditure. Right? You cannot be unreasonable saying, okay, we have spent 50% in building up the personal capacity and now we take forward the work. No. If you want to build a personal capacity of your own, then you can utilize the maximum of 5% of the amount spent for the CSR activity, so that the other 95% actually goes to the performance of the activity, right? So that is briefly the manner of implementing the CSR policies that you have undertaken. So the key highlights would be that will be undertaken by the company as per the policy, and that will be done by a third party, the third agent, that is a trust, society or company which is either established by them or if they don't establish it, they hire some other company to do so, then that other company should have a track record of 3 years in the same field, right? And the company itself will give out the activities. They will demonstrate that these are the activities we need you to undertake, and then a continuous monitoring and evaluation will follow, right? They can do it themselves or they can do it in collaboration, and in case of collaboration also, they will have to be in a position to report separately. Now we move on to the next point, that is CSR reporting. So Rule 8 of the company's Corporate Social Responsibility Policy Rule 2014 deals with corporate social responsibility reporting. So as per this, the CSR activities will be included in the board's report. When the board of directors, they give out their board's report, they will specify that, yeah, these are the CSR activities we have undertaken. First of all, they'll specify that, yeah, we qualified the limit. We have made an investment of this much amount. This is the CSR committee. And this is how we have undertaken the activity, either by self or by the company that has a 3 years track record, right? Next is, if there is a foreign company, then the foreign company will not send a board report in India, right? So what they'll have to do is they'll have to attach an annexure to their balance sheet. That is their requirement. And if it's an Indian company, they'll include it in the board's report. If it's a foreign company, they'll include an annexure to the balance sheet. The next point is the display of CSR policy on the website. So, as you know by the statement, the board is required to display the entire CSR policy. It has to be stuck on their website for other viewers to read and go through, to understand what the company is trying to do for the society, right? So, as per Rule 9 of company's Corporate Social Responsibility Policy Rule 2014 and Rule 6 of the company's Accounts Rule 2014, the CSR policy and its content both shall be displayed on the company's website. That is only if the case they have any, right? So there are two rules behind it, Rule 9 and Rule 6, right? Rule 6 will be of the company's Accounts Rule 2014, not the CSR rule. Now the final point that we have left with us is to understand what Schedule 7 activities are. So I'll give you some brief examples of what Schedule 7 activities are. Schedule 7 activities may include activities like eradicating hunger, poverty and malnutrition, providing safe drinking water, promoting education, vocational skills and stuff, promoting gender equality, empowering the women, setting up homes and hostels for women, etc. That is the women part. Ensuring the environmental stability, sustainability, protecting the national heritage, the art, the monuments and stuff, restoring the buildings and sites, renovation for their long life and their safety and security. Then measures for the benefit of the armed forces, the war widows and their dependents, right? Training program for the rural sport, nationally recognized sports, contribution to the Prime Minister National Relief Fund. We have seen that CSR policy, as per the CSR policy or as per section 135, any activity of giving out some money or contribution to the political party will not be considered to be a CSR activity. But this is not a contribution to political party. This is contribution to the Prime Minister Relief Fund. It is not a political party. It is a fund that has been accumulated for some specific purpose, and that purpose is for the society. So you can make a contribution to Prime Minister Relief Fund also. That is set by Schedule 7, right? And contribution of or funds provided to the technology incubators, which is located within the academic institutions, will also form part of CSR activity. Any rural development project, slum area development project, etc. will all form part of CSR. So basically you understand, whatever you do for the society that benefits the society, the national heritage, the women, education, standard of life, poverty, you eradicate these things, then all such kind of things will be included in CSR activity. And if there is something that is skipped from Schedule 7, that can also be included in CSR activity, because the definition is an inclusive definition. It is not an exhaustive one, right? So with this, our section 135 comes to an end. I hope you have got a brief understanding of what it is. There are some simple details that you need to remember: the limits, the amount spent, the committee, the policy, how you can do it, the trust, the company, the society. You can prepare a cartel in report separately. Then what are the activities that will not be considered as CSR activity and stuff. So it is an easy topic. It is just that you need to understand, and since it has come up recently, so you may not be very familiar with it. But yeah, it is not a very difficult topic, but an important one. Recently, you have been asked questions on this in your past 2-3 consecutive examinations. Okay, so with this, we'll come to the end of this lecture. So thank you very much. This is Abhinay Gupta signing off for the day. Bye-bye.